You guys ready?
What's the plan, Bobby?
We're winging it, Jerry.
You always winged it.
We're gonna get killed. What you mean, we, white boy?
You ready?
Here we go.
What up? Welcome into the OG NBA betting show. Got my guys here with me. Dutchy, he might get in here if the internet in Vegas is kind of shitty. I mean, y'all should know that Cox internet pretty terrible, so he's dealing with some stuff. He'll see if he can get in here. But Bano, it's been a little bit, I think, since we talked. How's everything going for you?
Friday, right? I think we were on Friday. We did the show, so it's I know
it feels like a while.
It does feel like it's been a little bit longer. Yeah, it's good to be here. The NBA season's been really strong, really solid. Really, we haven't had those long losing streaks yet in the NBA, and it's been good. We've had some losing days, obviously, but we haven't had an extended long losing streak. It's been very consistent from start to finish. So very happy with the way it's going. It's a huge card, final one before Christmas. Well, yeah, it is final one before Christmas, although we will try to have a show tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific, to talk about the 5 games on national television on Christmas Day. And I know we're all looking forward to that. But looking forward to this card. It's a big one, and see what we can find as far as good bets out there.
I do think there are some good bets out there, Wham Bam. I know we'll talk about them later, but what's good with you, man? How's everything? You had a good weekend. How's everything going for you?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. And now that we got Dutch and I here, man, the NBA is a hell of a drug, man. Y'all know who y'all looking at. The motherfucking plugs. We gotta steal my boy lines. We gotta keep those in.
I got you covered with that line at the end of the show if Dutch doesn't show up.
That's what I was my half of it did, but Ben, you got the end, and we're gonna do it like that there. If he ain't here, we're gonna do it like that. That sounds like a good idea. Shout out to KC, shout out to Charles White, shout out to Mike R, B Daddy. Shout out to everybody as well, man. We know we've been doing pretty damn good with these best bets. I'm pretty sure the utility man got it done for y'all last weekend. And then, man, let's just keep it going, bro. I feel like Babano said, and a lot of that has to do with us extending the show, I think, too. I haven't had that many bad days consecutive either dealing with this show. And I think I'm getting right back to the whip of things with these guys. So shout out to the chat. Shout out to the OG crew. Let's keep it going, man.
Let's keep it going. A lot of people showing up in the chat. We appreciate you. It's always that one person who's new, maybe, who just says, damn, are they ever going to start? I mean, you guys should know by now. But a lot of the usual suspects in the chat, I do see all y'all. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to Dia. Javi says the Lakers are back. I don't want to get carried away. I mean, let's chill for now. We'll talk about them later, though. We'll start off with let's get the nasty games out the way. That's probably why Dutch ain't here right now. Utah and Cleveland. It got to be one. Actually, no, Wham Bam probably might like this game too. But I know who for sure is not scared to lay with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and that's Babano. 14 points, 2 touchdowns. I mean, they have been beating everybody by double digits. Do you think they can do it by this margin here tonight?
I actually lean to the Jazz here. We got the Jazz. I'm going to be I think Cleveland, for some reason, and this is just a gut feel, you're coming off back-to-back blowout wins against the Bucks, the Sixers, in teams that, well, Philly has obviously not had a good season. Milwaukee's been not quite what the Bucks we expected. Those are 2 satisfying victories. You're rolling. You've won 4 in a row, 8 of the last 9, and you got this lowly little Utah Jazz team rolling into town right before Christmas. It just feels like maybe a sleepy ass spot here for the Cavs. It really does. And that's what would concern me here. And look, Utah's picked up their game a little bit. Brooklyn and Detroit have their issues, but, underdogs in both games. They win both of them outright. They've actually played a little bit better defense against Brooklyn, but Brooklyn's kind of hurting. We'll see. The offense came alive against Detroit in that victory over the Pistons. It's just, to me, a little bit of a dubious spot here to be laying all these points. Now, I know Cleveland was 2-0 against the spread and straight up last year against Utah, covering both times. They won only by 8 points, though, on the home floor, 16 in Utah. I don't know. I just got that feeling that it's a lot of points, and I'm worried if we're going to see Cleveland's A game. So I'm going to sprinkle on the Jazz here, something very, very small, obviously, because if Cleveland's going to win and cover, They've won a lot of their games, as Skee mentioned, by double digits. I just hate this spot. You're off 2 big wins, and you got Denver in your first game, and you're starting a road trip after Christmas too at Cleveland. So I'm going to take a small shot with this Jazz team plus 14, but I like this over as well. I agree with the total going up. I think still you're going to see a lot of points, and I could see Cleveland's defense kind of half-assing it tonight in this game. But at the same time, they should score on their home floor against Utah. So I like the over and a little sprinkle on Utah plus all these points.
Answer some questions there in the chat. They were asking about the total, and just looking at this, the Jazz defense all season long is the worst defensive rated team. Same for the last 5 games. And Cleveland Cavaliers, the number 1 offensive rated team last 5 games. Damn, this is crazy. Last 5 games for the Jazz, they're allowing 126.4 points.
Yeah.
Cavaliers scoring 121.6. I mean, wham bam. Is it just as easy as a Cavs team total, or what are we doing in this game?
So I'm right there with Babano a little bit though, because I was fading the Cavs when they were giving up 131 points at one point over the last 5 games. So that 126 is a little bit better, and I think that's because of the Nets game that you just mentioned, them holding opponents there. But they still are on target to being at. Is this a sleepy spot? Because honestly, the total is being pretty high here. The total last game against the Nets was around 220-ish, if I'm not mistaken, 226, something around there. So I don't necessarily think that the books are calling this a sleepy spot. I think they think that the Cavs can score on this team, and that's kind of where I want to go. I want to think that even though they don't have no game on Saturday, I'm sorry, not Saturday, but on Christmas, they can be thinking all about Christmas and stuff like that. But they got a whole nother day to get ready for Christmas. It's still Christmas Eve. This is a game that they could be locked in, trying to lock in and knock this out. And let's be real. Cleveland just made a point with beating the shit out of Milwaukee. Obviously, there was no Dame there, but they beat the shit out of Milwaukee in that game. Was able to handle business against Philly. They've been handling business. You know what I'm saying? They haven't shown us that they're on some sleepy spot shit all year. So I'm not even going to wait around and think of it being one of those spots. I'm going to take their team total over. Like you said, Skee, I think either way, even if this is a Laurie marketing revenge game, you know what I'm saying, and he just come out here and start shooting threes, I still believe that this is still going to be an offense that's going to be upright, upbeat in the Cavs here. So I think the team total at 120. 123, I believe. That's what I see here. 123 and a half. 123 and a half. That's what I'm gonna lock in on. Other than that, I don't necessarily want to go anything with props or anything, because I think it could be either one, whoever they feel like the matchup is suffice. And then also, I think the full game team total, full game over is in play too. Keontae George played really well against that Nets team. And then the boy that really no one really wants to talk about, Sexton, man, I was kind of pissed. I was pissed at myself. Colin Sexton has been playing pretty well. His over 17 and a half points. That may be another game that another guy that I want to keep an eye on, because he's going up against his old team just like Laurie is. You could possibly see him playing up for this game, a little early Christmas gift for Colin Sexton. It sounds crazy, but he did have a pretty good outing the last game. So over 17 and a half points is something I haven't locked in yet, but I'm zeroing in on it. I might be on that too.
All right, next game we have Spurs and 76ers. And this one didn't move too much. It opened 5.5. It looks like 6. And the total came down from 221.5 to 217. As far as injuries, you do have, Maxi's probable. McCain is out. Joel Embiid will play. For how long, we'll see. Babano, no way. For me, I can live with the 76ers. I've been done with this team actually for a while. So Spurs, the better defensive team lately, catching points on the way I look. What do you think?
I'm not comfortable either laying it with Philadelphia, but they are off a blowout loss at Cleveland, 126-99. And you look at them on their home floor. They did beat Orlando here. They beat Charlotte by 10 last home game. San Antonio, a 3-game homestand. Now you go on the road for 1 game before Christmas. Then they go on a road trip after Christmas, including, of course, one of the games they're on Christmas Day as well against the Knicks. I'm also being a little bit careful of taking the teams with the Christmas Day game. And I know both of these teams have Christmas Day games, but San Antonio coming off 2 wins in a row, Philly coming off the blowout loss. It's a Philly spot, but you're right. I don't want to lay 5 or 6. I lean under. The total's already moved down. So I lean under a little bit. Nothing on the side for me.
Wham Bam, you go do. Everybody loves a little bit of Wemby on prime time tonight. It looks like. Are you doing anything with his props, or how you approaching this game?
Yeah, I actually do got a prop in this game, but I mean, we already know once I say one thing, utility, you kind of understand exactly where I'm going here with Paul George assists over 5.5 plus money there. I think we haven't made it famous yet, so we got to keep using keywords like that before we make it famous. You know what I'm saying? Because this is one of those things I think, that I don't know if the book's caught on to it, but this is his direction here. He's going to allow Maxey to be the scorer. He's going to try to get Embiid involved. So just take his assist. I think another thing is that Chris Paul's on the other opposite side. Maybe he really focused in on being out assisting Chris Paul here. So I do take what Babano is saying all the way to heart for sure about having these two teams playing on Christmas Day. That's definitely something that I want to keep an eye on as well. But I mean, is the Sixers are the Sixers? They saying the Lakers are back. Are the Sixers back? Because they finally got a couple of damn games with Embiid under their belts. Like, are they back now? Like, is this some team that we could actually lock in on and say that they're going to be, taking the rest of the season serious, like the Milwaukee Bucks too? So, which one of these teams? Which one of these 3 teams out of Lakers, Sixers, or the Milwaukee Bucks? Which one of these teams can we take serious into this next half of the season? I think one of these teams we got to be able to take serious. And I mean, eventually I'm going to be able to look at the Sixers team like, well, they got 3-headed monster. They should be able to win and cover some of these games. And this is a game where I should suspect that they should win and cover, but it's at a hard time for us to be able to trust them. So I'm just, at this point, it's only going to be the utility man assist for Paul George. That's it, man. Plus money.
My bad. I'm locked. My screen. Oh, there we go. I'm back. I thought I had myself muted. I couldn't get my screen to move. It was like frozen. I'm like, damn. But good stuff, y'all. I'm gonna keep it going to the next game. And this is what I was just looking at. I have an opinion in this game. I'm starting to like this game more and more and more. I think about it, but I want to hear what you guys have to say first. So it opened up 6.5. It looks like 7 everywhere right now for the Rockets. The total went from 217 to 219.5. You have Eason out, and then for the Hornets, they'll be without Brandon Miller and Trey Mann. So I'll go right back to you, Babano. Rockets did play last night. They came back and got the win. Do you think they can do it again tonight?
I don't love the spot for the Rockets, that's for sure. They had to work hard last night in Toronto, survive 114-110. For Fred Van, he didn't play well, didn't shoot well. I mean, in his return to Toronto, which was surprising, Van Vliet. But the good news is they got a big game out of Dylan Brooks, the Canadian, playing in front of the home country, and he played well. Şengün and Jabari Smith were good. Jalen Green, usual, pretty solid performance, bailed out a tough shooting night for Fred Van Vliet. Now you're going on the road again, back-to-back, right before Christmas. I think there's reasons to like Charlotte personally, getting 7 here. LaMelo's going to play. That's significant. Obviously, Brandon Miller's still an injury concern for them, obviously. And we know that they can oftentimes struggle at consistency defensively, but they certainly have the rest advantage. That's a plus. I'm not sure you're going to get Houston's A game. Is a game against this Charlotte team kind of going to excite them? No, I think Charlotte plus the points. I also didn't love what I saw from the Rockets defensively last night at times. And if you look at the way Charlotte's played at home, their games have been going over these totals in the 14, 15 type of range like this. So I agree with the total going up as well, 217 to 220. I would look at Hornets. I would look at over in this game.
All right, 2 ways for Babano in this one. Wham Bam. We saw those Rockets in person. What do you think they'll look like here tonight versus the Hornets?
Yeah, you know what? And I had Jabari Smith. I see what I got on the outside looking in. I see him say he's going back to my old faithful Jabari Smith Jr., man. Guess what? I had him yesterday or the day before, whatever the day they just played. And I think it was yesterday. And he had the first bucket. His first bucket was a 3, and I had the over 1.5 threes. Do you think he hit that shit? No, he didn't, bro. His the first bucket of the game was a 3, and that was it, my boy. I was hot. So I think you might be onto something. Maybe I can't get out of this right now. I love the fact that I seen one of the stats of the most viewed NBA players, top 5, was this boy that's playing right now in this game, LaMelo Ball, and he's nowhere to be found on the Christmas day. So I don't know. Something tells me he gonna hoop today, bro. I think something's gonna tell me LaMelo's hooping here. And I want to find a prop with LaMelo. They don't want to give us anything favorable. 31.5, 30.5 is what I'm seeing for LaMelo Ball points. They can't really hoop if they don't have him in there, especially Miles Bridges. He can't play a lick of damn basketball unless LaMelo's in here. So I think they are going to play up a little bit in here. I like the Hornets a little bit here just because of that. And the Rockets they got a better team for sure and all that good shit, but they're just so underwhelming. They're just so underwhelming, and I don't know if that's because a lot of people don't like their coach. They don't want him to succeed or something like that, but something about them, they just underwhelming. And we seen that, like what we did see with them, Skee, they don't really get that many calls like that. They don't get calls like that because they was really running to the ground. So if LaMelo gets calls today,
no blood, no foul.
Yeah, no blood, no foul. If LaMelo gets calls today, I wouldn't be surprised they win it and covering. But I like LaMelo here. I haven't locked in anything, but something about this game is screaming LaMelo. He should be a PRA of triple double watch type guy today, I think.
Yeah, if you like the Hornets, I think you gotta like LaMelo some way, shape, or form. And I would be looking at the Hornets here, man. Go back to what Rick White said. Rockets back to back with long travel a few days before Christmas. Not a good spot for the Rockets. And they've been a 50-50 ATS team on the road, much better at home. Hornets coming in here with 2 days rest, healthier. I could only take the 7 points with the Hornets. That's the way that I like in this game. Next up, Celtics and Magic. Went from 9 to 10.5 we're looking at right now. And the total open 218.5 is down as low as 214.5. I just want to double check these injuries here. For Boston, Hauser, game time decision. For the Magic, it looks like Suggs is game time decision. And I mean, this Magic team, I'm coming to you, Babano. This Magic team, God, they missing Banchero, Gary Harris, Franz Wagner, Mo Wagner. I mean, who's left? And they had to come back to win that last game. Do they have anything in the tank to hang with Boston tonight?
Yeah, that's the problem. Is just they're just besieged right now by injuries. It was a great. Thankful they came back. Even with the injuries, I still took Orlando against Miami. Tells you where I think of Miami right now. But and they've came back and they found a way. 121-114. They outscored the Heat 37-8. Can you believe that in the fourth quarter? Unbelievable comeback. I counted that as a loss. Seriously, I thought that was done. And Orlando money line on Saturday. And here's Orlando coming all the way back for me and getting the job done. It was a great performance from Caldwell Pope. It was a great performance from Cole Anthony. They combined for 59 points. Goja Bitadze got 18 points. Are you going to get those kind of performances again, though, from those players? Sometimes when you get the step-up effort one game from guys that aren't used to those minutes, those roles, it's not always going to happen. They're going to deliver that the next game. And we are talking about a better Boston team compared to Miami. So it's a little dicey here with Orlando. You mentioned it, Suggs game time decision, Banchero, Franz Wagner both out. Or if you can tell me we're going to get KCP and Cole Anthony getting 60 points for me, maybe I'm interested in Orlando. But are we going to get that here against Boston? That remains to be seen. Boston, though, I don't know if it's a great Boston spot either. You crush Chicago 123-98. You got this game in Orlando. You go back home after this for Christmas, and you got the Sixers and a Christmas Day showdown coming up. It's pretty much a spot for me where I don't feel like I want to trust Orlando against this caliber of opponent with all the injuries. But I ain't running to lay 10.5 on the road right before Christmas either with Boston. So it's a pass for me.
Wham Bam, can you get involved with anything here with the shorthanded Magic? against the Celtics.
Yeah, the Celtics been trending under like crazy. I think they 4 straight unders, 4 straight unders, and 3 and 7 the last 10 towards the under here. So the way the Orlando pretty much is going to have to win this game, they're going to have to score more than 110 points. I think. You know what I'm saying? Like I think if they're going to be able to score and win, if they're going to win this game, they got to score that much. And that is something I just can't see with all these injuries, bro. Especially with the boy Suggs being out now, like, or he's possibly to be out. It's just hard to trust these guys. So I'm not going to say that I want to take my normal props here in the boy Caillou or Derek White. You know what I'm saying? Rather. I don't want to take Boston either because, like what Ben was saying earlier about the teams that got to play on Christmas, this is a game where they're going up against a team that ain't played in a while and they don't got to play in a while. It's still an NBA team here, so it's kind of tough to say the Celtics. The Celtics actually have been showing, not like the Cavs haven't been showing us any wrinkle. The Celtics showing us that they kind of don't care about covering games. They don't really give a damn about covering games like that. As long as they win the game, that's all they matter for. So that's the reason why I'm kind of a little sketch on any prop with Caillou or the Celtics here. But I do expect the Celtics to smash this team here. They should be able to win and cover. They covered the 12 last game. I think they should cover here, but it's tough. It's tough for me to trust them. Like Babano said, the fact that they got a Christmas Day game against a team that doesn't, it probably is a little tricky on that side. So nothing here for me at all.
All right, next up, Nets and Heat. This is dirty. Dirty. Opened 8.5. It's 10.5 now. Total came down 3.5 points. Jimmy Butler game time decision. Doesn't even matter anymore. I mean, let's just go off that. Babano. Doesn't even matter anymore that Jimmy Butler's game time decision. I think it's time for him to move on. I don't think he wants to be there and play. But this is a Nets team that's pretty pathetic right now. What do you think about this game?
Pretty pathetic, but this is a hold your nose special. I'm taking Brooklyn now that it's hit 10.5. There's no chance I'm laying 10.5 with Miami. Butler may not even play. He's got an illness. I think he's ill from Miami in this franchise, quite honestly. It's not an illness, just in terms of sickness. He's ill from this being on this Miami team. I agree with you. And obviously things haven't been going well for them. Look, I mean, what's excited about taking Miami right now? There's nothing really. They had a terrible game in Detroit. They're lucky they battled back to force overtime, but still lost. You lose to OKC in a spot that was gift wrapped for you because OKC was on a back-to-back after beating down their opponent the game before that. And then you had that collapse against Orlando. You want to lay 10.5 with a team that collapsed in the fourth quarter, 37-8, got run out by Orlando in the fourth quarter. You want to lay 10.5 with them? Go ahead. I can't do it. Now, Brooklyn's a mess. I get it. Cam Thomas, Dorian Finney-Smith, Bojan Bogdanovic are all out. Who's going to score for them? Cam Johnson, Eon Johnson, like who's going to get it done here for them at the offensive end of the court? I agree with that. I think the under certainly makes some sense in this game, and the total's taking a hit. Who's going to score for either of these teams, quite honestly? But this is a hold your nose special. Miami in their current ways, even with the Brooklyn issues and the injuries, can't be laying 10.5, in my opinion, at least. So we're going to take Brooklyn here at this number, plus 10.5. Too many points.
Babano not scared to take that big dog. Shout out to my guy Nasty Nate in the chat. Love seeing you in there. Happy holidays to you. I see you enjoying yourself at the Christmas party. Appreciate you, Nasty Nate.
He sure is.
Bam. Wham bam. Babano's taking them points, man. I think I'm gonna just stay away from this game. Can you get involved here?
I actually do want to get involved with this dirty game. And I'm going to take the boy Cameron Johnson. Cameron Johnson over 21.5 points. Last game, he didn't get this number here. He shot 15 shots, shot pretty efficient there. 2 for 9 from 3. That's where his problem was. He shot the same amount of threes that he normally gets, about 8 to 10 in this beat down Nets team. He should be the focal point here. He had 33 the game prior, 22 the game prior, 12. 26 and 26 again, then the 26 on the next game after that. So I think he has the capability of easily going over this total out here at 21.5. We just need 22 points from a team that I agree with Babano they have a little live spot here. Spoelstra and them, they gave up on the boy Jimmy. They must have been watching our show. They must have been figuring out, looking at the numbers, that without the foul line, he ain't really an all-star. So maybe they really do need to move on from Jimmy. Jimmy, you did too much with your damn hairstyles, and shame on you. You know what I'm saying? But Cameron Johnson over 21.5 points is not a nasty play. I think this one is going to cash by halftime. Muted.
My bad. Shout out to my guy Ron Crawford. His pick of the day today is Orlando spreadsheet pick of the day. Next up, we have T-Wolves and Hawks. This one did open 4.5, I believe, or 4, and now it looks like 3.5. The total went up from 222 to 225. As far as injuries, you do have Trae Young and Bogdanovich game time decision for Minnesota. It looks like they're actually pretty healthy. Ingles is out over there. Garza's out, but pretty healthy outside of that. Babano, this Timberwolves team, they look like they turn the corner. You know, whenever Anthony Edwards opened his mouth, it looks like they respond, or that's what we've seen so far. And he was very unhappy after that last game. So now going to face the Hawks, questionable Trae Young and Bogdanovich. Could this be a Timberwolves spot? And will they flex with that defense once again?
I'm waiting on this because if Trae Young or Bogdanovich play, I'll probably be on Atlanta. I'm not ready to trust Minnesota laying 4 on the road at this point in time. But I want to wait to see if that's confirmed because it does make a difference. That being said, maybe this is a spot then for the young kid, Zachary Risache, to step up for this Atlanta Hawks team. You know, he's been, kind of a ho-hum first season. But the one thing about his minutes will go up, certainly, if there's some of these guys not playing here for Atlanta. I'm waiting on that confirmation if we're going to see Trae or Bogdanovich. They're in. I lean Atlanta as it is. I don't feel totally comfortable here with the Minnesota Timberwolves laying points on the road here. I know Atlanta's off a rough 3 games as well. Both these teams are coming in off multiple losses, so it's kind of pick your poison. But I think Atlanta's the side, and probably the over too if they're in. So I'm eyeing both Hawks and over, but only if we get Trae and or Bogdan both in.
Damn, Babano, I'm leaning the other way, the under and the T-Wolves. So, yeah, I don't like to hear that.
He's guaranteed winner here, yeah.
I haven't bet him yet, but damn, they're on my short list.
Yeah.
Wham Bam, he threw me a curveball. I'm gonna ask you this. Anthony Edwards, he's a guy that I feel like I trust. He is off a couple bad games. He's going back home. He's from Georgia. Last couple times he's played in Atlanta, he's had 30 balls. You think he can get 27 plus tonight? How do you feel about this game?
Yeah, man. What is his three-pointers when he's out there in Georgia too? That's actually what is his 3-pointers when he's going out there?
He hit 5 out of 8, and then he hit 2 out of 10.
Because his 3 prop right now is pretty juiced up at 3.5. And he's had 4 last game, 3, 3, 2, 5, 4, 4, 1, 4, 4. And I think that one thing about the Hawks that their defense is pretty solid though, but it kind of like, I like Anthony Edwards a little bit today for sure. You said it, man. This is the best narrative to take him as far as if you have anything that's written outside of the video, send the video moment. This is probably a good moment to take Anthony Edwards points for sure. But I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't trying to throw you another curveball. I was thinking the same way with Babano, to the point that I'm taking a money line here with the Hawks as soon as the Trae Young is out there. I think they are going to be able to win this game here, bro. I just think that I don't really like anything to do with Julius Randle. And then it's compounded with Rudy Gobert over there. So as much as we really want to trust Anthony Edwards to get it right, he's too young for this, man. This is too much of a fucking mess. You know what I mean? And the coach ain't saying shit. You know what I'm saying? The coach ain't helping at all. So I kind of agree with you, Babano. I like this Hawks team here as what they've been showing us, especially if they get those boys back in there on the offensive side of the ball. Now, without them, then hell yeah. You know what I mean? I think the T-Wolves could win by double digits without Trae Young and the Bogdanovich, because they bench is not even that damn good to be losing out on Bogdanovich. So yeah, they could possibly lose this game, but no, bro. It's tough to trust this team. So I ain't trying to talk you off of it or anything, but I was right there with Babano. I was liking the Hawks money line, so I'm right there with you. I'm waiting for trade news.
Everybody on the Hawks, huh? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Man. It could be that way too, though. You always right on these situations, though. You got a good going up against everybody record. I say that.
First thing I see is what's Minnesota, 1 game below 500 on the road, and they're laying points. That's just never a subset I like. Yeah, that's Wham's Discord. That's not. I was because I.
Hold on, my fault.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, that's my fault. My fault, y'all.
Yeah, I don't even hear it. We'll keep going. We have Raptors and Knicks, and this one hasn't really moved as far as the point spread. The total came down a point. The Raptors looks like RJ. Let me just see. He's still questionable. I thought I saw something on him, but I guess not. He's still questionable. Lawson questionable. No Brown, no Hurtle, no Quickly, no McCullough for the Knicks, and no Mitchell Robinson. I'm gonna go to Wham Bam first on this one because I feel like there's some props to be had. I mean, it's a lot of different ways that you could look. Scotty Barnes, I mean, Karl Anthony Towns. It's a lot of ways to look, Wham Bam. What you doing?
Hey, man, we need RJ Barrett back in rotation, bro. He missed the last 2 games. I'm thinking that he was missing those 2 games just to play in this game right before Christmas. We've seen him play against this team this year already, and he dropped 30 piece on them. And I was back on my birthday on December 9th, 13 for 24 in that game, 3 for 7, 8 for as far as assists. I think RJ Barrett is the only way you want to go here, over 22.5 points. It's the way I went at minus 115. It's the only thing that I locked in on this game. And then if I go back into what Babano was saying about the teams that's going into this next game, their next game on Christmas is not necessarily a doozy or an easy one, but it is the first one. You know what I'm saying? And when those first ones happen, I think those are the more trickier ones. Those are the trickier ones here. So this Knicks game, I think this is probably like they're trying to get in, get out early. So if I like the Knicks, I'm going to take them first half only. That's the only way I will be looking in here on the Knicks. But it's tough to take them just because, like I said, it's the next game is in Christmas. So I'm not necessarily trying to avoid them or anything, but I think that's the only way I will be wanting to bet them. But the only thing I locked in for sure was RJ Barrett over 22.5 points. I think he plays today. And that's the reason why he was missing those last few games. So RJ Barrett is where I took my talents. Pause.
All right, Babano, what you thinking here?
Well, there's more than just one reason to think this is tricky for the Knicks. It's because they're facing the number 3 point spread team in the NBA right now, the Toronto Raptors, 19-9 against the spread. They cash a ticket for me last night again. I mean, they've been a phenomenal team for me to back. And I don't think people are talking about this enough, that this is the perfect kind of team you make money with in sports betting, including the NBA. Teams that don't win straight up. And Toronto doesn't win many basketball games, 7-22, but they hang around, they lose by single digits, they play hard every night, and they lose. But they're competitive, and they're rarely blown out. And that's the Toronto Raptors right now. That's why they're 19-9 against the spread, even though they're 7-22 straight up. These are the kind of teams you make money with because they fly under the radar, they lose, and people don't pay attention, but they cover in majority of their games, and you get good numbers because they're losing straight up like they are. You factor in RJ Barrett. This is strategic by the Raptors, I think, not to play him last night. I think the onus was rest him last night, have him ready to go at MSG, making his return to New York here against the Knicks. I agree with the RJ Barrett props, maybe OG Anunoby on the Knicks side you want to look at, former Raptor as well. Those guys will want to show out. But to me, with the Knicks coming off, multiple blowout wins in a row, against Orlando, Minnesota, New Orleans, the last 3 games. They come back home off a 3-game road trip for this game. And then you got the San Antonio Christmas Day television spectacle on deck. I mean, I think this is just a spot. And the Raptors were competitive with the Knicks recently when they played in Toronto. That was a close game. Raptors fought hard. Raptors had people out just like they do tonight with no Jakob Poeltl, no Quickly. They're still out, but they got Barnes back. Barrett, I think, is going to suit up. You know what I'm doing. Toronto plus 14. And back in one of the best point spread teams in the NBA to do what they've done all year. Lose, because they're probably losing this game still, but hang in there within 14.
They've been good, like you said, all year long. So we'll see if they can do it again here tonight. I'll be on those cat rebounds. Somebody in the chat said it already. I got 13.5. He's cleared that 9 of 11. He didn't get it last game because he got in foul trouble. But I think he's absolutely capable of getting it tonight, especially with no Jakob Poeltl down there. So that's my play for this game. Bucks and Bulls. Man, I'm going to do it for my guy one time. Back with that motherfucker.
Is back for your health.
Urbano, feel free. You want to talk about this?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, obviously, no Greek Freak, no Giannis Antetokounmpo, no Dame Lillard. So obviously, that's why the huge move here. And now Chicago favored at home in this spot. But we're laying points now with a 13-16 Bulls team. Am I in a rush to do that? No. The totals crashed down from 238.5 to 228.5. It's going to be interesting because obviously Milwaukee won the NBA Cup, and predictably here, since that NBA Cup win, they had the loss to Cleveland. They did bounce back and they beat Washington 112-101 their next game. You do have the Celtics at home off a really bad blowout loss, but we're talking about a home favorite here. It's only 4-10 on this floor. So yeah, it's Bulls or pass. I just don't think the number's right. So pass for me, but I lean Bulls. I could get to Milwaukee with the 2 big guys out.
That was exotic right there for my guy Bubano. Exotic back with ever seen one. Shout out my guy Dutchy in the chat. He says, run up the lights for the fellas. We appreciate you. And make sure you go check out my guy Dutch too. Does a lot of great work. Wham bam. What we doing in this game? I mean, I can't. Bobby Portis, what are we doing?
We're trying to have a good time, and you want to talk about
Yeah.
Hey.
Is back for your health.
He gave you way more than you need, man.
Yep.
Wouldn't even take Vucevic over threes is minus 160. I can't even take that, man. It's over with.
Way more than you need. Clippers and Grizzlies. It did go up a point from 4.5 to 5.5. Total went down from 234 to 229. Grizzlies did have Desmond Bane game time, and it still looks like he's game time. For the Clippers, they have Zubac game time, and I think both are huge deals. I'm gonna go to you, Babano, but I think that it's a huge deal for Zubac because if he's not in, I mean, Memphis thrives in the paint. That's where they want to get all game long. So that would be a disaster for the Clippers if Zubac is out. Bane, he's important for them to space the floor to get into the paint. So 2 things I'm looking at why I kind of maybe got to hold my bet right now. But how are you looking at betting the Grizzlies and Clippers?
I still like Memphis. I think it's a reasonable price. They're playing some great ball. They're 13-3 at the house this year, straight up. You look at these recent home games. They beat the living hell out of Golden State 144-93 on this court. They beat Brooklyn by 16 on this court. They win and cover against Sacktown on this court. They blow out Indiana, who's playing better now a little bit. They beat them by 15 here at home. I mean, they've just been a wagon, the Memphis Grizzlies here in Grind City of late. And I know Desmond Bane's a game-time decision. Marcus Smart still out. Gigi Jackson, Vince Williams as well. But talked about who's out for the Clippers and potentially Zubac and how that Zubac's absence could really mean that Zach Edey, Jaren Jackson and company just feast away in that paint area. So certainly if Zubac is out, I really like Memphis. I like them enough as it is, laying 5.5. Grizzlies for me.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way. They've been really good in the first half too. Wham bam, they really good early starters. Jamrock Kicks even says first quarter team total over for the Grizzlies. but a few people also say full game over. So a lot of people lean in different ways. How do you feel about it?
Really, really, really tricky on the tough early spot here. 5-3-2 ATS in the first quarter for the Grizzlies over the last 10, but they are 8-10. 8-2 in the first quarter at home. And this Clipper team is 8-2 ATS in the first quarter on the road. And they were probably one of the only teams that I was really playing first quarters this year and really following it. But like Babano said, they're not only just taking it to the first quarter, they're going all the way with it through the whole game and covering full game. They're the number 2 points bearer team, right just above that Toronto team that our guy Babano was talking about earlier. So Memphis Grizzlies definitely, especially if they got Ja coming back and all the good shit there. I know you want Bane out there, but I mean, let's be honest, bro. Bane has been a fucking brick, bro, all fucking year. Like, this is his worst year.
Excellent point. Hasn't been shooting the percentages like we were accustomed to. Yep.
Yeah, at all.
Totally
He's
agree.
Brick. So, yeah, he's shooting them still, but without Bane, they may be able to get to the bag a little bit earlier, a little bit easier than normal here. Santi Altman has been good at filling in that role, and a few other guys there. And I think that what you're getting for sure consistently by Pippen Jr. Has been being locked in on the Grizzlies here. So I kind of like the Grizzlies here, full game. I can't take anything on the first quarter because I think that both teams have been pretty good in each role. Clippers being on the road, the Grizzlies being on the at home. So maybe the first quarter team total over, maybe they all scoring on each other. That could be a good way of looking at it too. But Grizzlies was the only way I was looking to bet here. I haven't locked in anything here yet, but this was the game I was trying to talk to you guys about, being that there are some injuries here, especially if Zubac is out, like you said, bro. Them attacking the paint, I don't think Bane is bigger. I think Zubac is a way bigger loss than Bane because, like I said, Bane has been a fucking brick. So I think John and them boys probably get it done tonight.
I think you're right about that. So we'll see how it shakes out. This line, I feel like keeps moving every time I look at this game. Indiana. Oh, I'm sorry. No, this is the wrong one. I'm bad. I was looking at a different.
Wizards
What am
Thunder.
I doing? Yeah, Wizards Thunder. My eyes went somewhere else. Maybe I'm just thinking about that game. I don't know what happened. Wizards Thunder. Yeah, this is a backwood for me, man. Let's hear that jingle one more time.
Is bad for your health.
We're trying to have a good
Babano.
and you want to talk about this shit?
Yeah.
Hey, he gave you way more than you need.
Never gets old. Babano, what you think about this one?
I love me some Oklahoma City Thunder, but not at this number, not at this price. And it's just a little too much even for my blood to take the Thunder in this game. That being said, they do have the rest advantage, and they've whipped the Wizards. The problem is one of the wins against Washington here at home was 17. 17's not going to cover if they win by that here tonight but the last time they played them here at home, it was 147-106. So, and the last two meetings last year with these two teams, 136 for the Thunder in Washington, 147 in the other at home for Oklahoma City. So they have shredded this Wizards team on the with their offense, that is. So I don't know, maybe an OKC, if you like them, take the 122 team total and go over. I lean that way, but probably not playing it. And the one thing I'll say about Washington is, their last 4 games, they've covered 3 of the 4, and the losses were by 10 at Cleveland, 14 against Boston, very good team. And even against Milwaukee, they only lost by 11 and just failed to cover. So, that's the problem. I could see Oklahoma City by 14, 15, 16, and that's not covering for you at this number. So pass for me.
Wham Bam. Can you get involved here, Wizards and Thunder?
Yeah, you know what? This is actually one of the best times to probably take the Wizards first quarter. This is probably the only time I'll be endorsing that situation because you're getting a pretty big number, and this is not a number that any form team that's going on their damn Christmas break is thinking about. They have to cover here. So just that being alone, this team doesn't have to play until Thursday as far as the Thunder. they can not care about covering this 18. I don't think they give a damn. But the Wizards, it's the only way I would go first quarter
Honestly.
Wizards. That's it. That's the only thing I would have for here.
Wham's point, this has stinky Utah Cleveland vibes to it, where
Yeah.
like with Utah in a sleepy spot for the home favorite, maybe they cover. Maybe the same with Washington here. We'll see.
We shall see. Blazers and Mavs. Mavs are an 11-point favorite now after opening at 9, and total went up from 228 to 230. Who is playing in this game? Doncic looks like he's game time decision. No Exum, Hardy, Williams, and then no Time Lord, Matisse Thybulle for the Blazers. I'm gonna be real. This is everybody's playing today. This is not a game I'm interested in playing. Wham Bam, is there anything we can do here? Any props? Finger roll boy. Clank. Who can we do anything in this game?
Look, only way you could go is going exactly what we're saying. We got to go right back to the people that's really covering these games. And Dallas is really covering these games, man. It's just 73 ATS over the last 10 games against a team that, why the fuck would we even care about winning this game? Like, who cares about this damn team, bro? Blow these motherfuckers the hell out. Is levels to this shit. Luka come back. He been off a little bit. He coming back feeling more efficient than ever. Ball out on these boys. Ain't no way these boys only won a game that they probably shouldn't have won in that damn Denver game. Denver had no fucking business losing that damn game the other night. Neither here nor there, but give me the Blazers, man. I'm not sorry. Let me fade the Blazers. Give me the Mavericks. I took it at 10.5. Yeah, I think these boys get it done tonight. Luka and the boys, it's levels to this shit. Clay, he ain't clanking today. They getting over this damn total too, I think. Because even if the Blazers do play up, they're gonna play a little bit better on the offensive side of the ball. They're not gonna play defense. So if they do play up here, it's gonna go help this go over. So if you have trouble deciding, which we don't have no trouble, it's fucking 13 games. You pick something else out if you don't like this game. But the Mavs, I think they get it done today. This has got me best bet potential all over it. I'm not going to give it out because I did give it out on the sesh earlier. But the 10.5 is best bet approved for me as well. So I like the 10.5 with the Mavericks.
He's laying it, Babano. Do you think you can get there with the big favorite tonight?
Yeah, just a different way of doing it. I went with the team total for Dallas over. I think they soar over that number, at least the chance to. And I think Luka's going to play. He didn't play. Excuse me. He didn't play against the Clippers in the 2 games, but I think he's going to suit up here. Team total is 120. I think they get over that team total. Excuse me here against the Portland Trailblazers. 5 straight meetings for Dallas. They've won and covered 125, 131, 126, 139, 137. They've scored 5. So they've basically gone way over 120 points 5 straight times against the Blazers. I think that happens again here. Do they cover? I think so, but maybe there's a little lax defense too because they do play on Christmas against Minnesota, but is the Blazers the type of team that's going to take advantage? I'm not sure. I'd just rather bank on Dallas scoring. That's what they've done against Portland. 5 straight times they've soared way over 120 points against this team, and I think they do so again tonight. So Dallas team total over 120.
All right, we'll keep it moving to the Suns and Nuggets. And these teams will play again on Christmas. So this is the first of whatever it's called. They play again on Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Denver open -7 or down to -4, 4.5 at some shops. And the total went down from 233 as low as 231.5. For Denver, looks like Jamal Murray is game time decision. So it's Sark for Phoenix. Booker is out. Bobo and Grayson Allen look like they're all out. Denver, Babano did have to play an overtime game and can take a lot out of them. Can the Suns take advantage here tonight? Has the line moved too much?
I feel I'm going to pass tonight, and whatever happens this game tonight, I'm going to see what happens. And then there's going to be a good bet to make on Christmas Day with these 2 teams in the rematch, and I think it's dependent on what happens tonight. For me, I'd rather just kind of sit back here. It's certainly not a great Denver spot. Taken to the wire yesterday against New Orleans, 132-129. They just barely had to survive that game. Now you got to travel back home. Rest advantage for the Suns. Suns team that will have KD in the lineup, Kevin Durant, and still Booker out, but Kevin Durant will play certainly a Suns spot. But, when I look at this Phoenix team, they're off those back-to-back losses to the Pistons and the Pacers. They haven't exactly been great as road dogs of late either. In these numbers, they lost outright at Orlando and at Miami. This Phoenix team is road dogs. So I don't think it's a slam dunk to take Phoenix, even with the spot advantage for them tonight. So I'm passing, and whatever happens in this game, I think we're going to have a good bet coming up on Christmas Day, which is a teaser to stay tuned tomorrow when we talk the Christmas Day games, because I might have something for Phoenix, Denver, the rematch, but nothing tonight.
Wham Bam, what you think about it?
You're muted now. Wham
Bam, muted.
Hey, Wham Bam, you're muted.
We cannot hear you.
My fault, bro. My fault. Can you hear me? My fault. I pressed the wrong
that eggnog already.
Nah, I got a button that's near my on the Roadcaster. They have a button that you could only hear yourself and not hear no one else. So y'all was moving y'all lips, and I was like, I can't hear y'all. And I looked over, I was like, I pressed the wrong fucking button. Like, there it is. So neither here nor there. Yeah, so I'm looking at both of the lines, because both of the lines are available for both games. So the game for today and the game for Christmas. So there's a swip of locations. The Christmas games is in Phoenix. Tonight's games in Denver. So yeah, the Nuggets should be favored. Yeah, they're 4.5 favorites today. Big favorites here, and you may not have Booker, probably one of your best offensive guys. So yeah, it's understandably so. But the next game they're favored by 2, and that's most likely going to have Booker. It's most likely going to have everybody there. So are we saying that the Nuggets are just better than these guys, or not? I'm like got a whole fight breaking down right here, bro. That's what happens when your kids is off of school. But yeah, so are they saying that Denver is better than them both times? You know what I'm saying? Is that what they're saying right now off the jump? And if we do get if we get tonight's game being the winning for the Suns, is it going to be a flop in favorites there for the Suns tomorrow? So that's how my mind goes into this game. I don't even think about capping this game in particular. I think about capping both games now. And I honestly want to take the Suns both times, because I think they're going to win one of these damn games here. So I'm going to take the Suns today at +4. And then I surely hope that they're going to win this game and they be favorites again next game. And then that way I don't have to take them. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how I'm going. And if they do lose this game, I'm going to take them again. Most likely probably even double it up on this Christmas game here. So that's the way I'm going to lock in here. So I'm taking the Suns on the points here, and then possibly something with the money line if it depends on whatever I get on live spots. But I'm just going to take the 4.5 with the Suns. And then as far as the props here, I want to go to Bradley Beal here. I ain't going to lie. I want to go Bradley Beal. No Booker. I want to go Bradley Beal all the way locked in here. There's something telling me just don't do it. Maybe a KD night. So I'm going to stay away from that. But I like the Suns here, at least to win one of these games. So I'm going to start off with it today, and then we'll double up tomorrow or if we have to.
All right, we'll talk about it. We'll see how it shakes out tonight. Pacers and Warriors. Side hasn't really moved. Total's been up and down all day, but it did open 231.5. And right now the consensus is 231. Shepherd, I think Shepherd got added to the injury report here because I didn't see him earlier. He's questionable now. Neesmith is out. And for Golden State, Gary Payton got added to the injury report along with Draymond Green and Moody. They're all questionable. So it looks like, Golden State could be missing some defense here. But Bano, the Pacers, are they even still the Pacers? I don't see very much pace, that pace that we saw from last year. At least they haven't been playing with it lately. And the defense has stepped it up.
Yep.
The Warriors, if they had everybody in, I might be looking towards an under. Do you think you can look that way, the way the injury report is, or how do you feel about this game?
Yeah, I'm certainly pumping the brakes with the Indiana Pacers over the total because we have seen. First of all, their defense is they're finally defending, they're finally guarding. It took them a while, but they're finally showing some better defensive prowess of late. I'm looking at their possession numbers, and obviously, when you look at this Indiana team for the entire season, they're still up there, 103.8 possessions per game. But last year, 104 possessions per game. But suddenly the last 5 games, 102 possessions per game. That's a lower number for this Indiana team. They have indeed slowed things down just a little bit going into this game. I like the Pacers here. I know they're on a back-to-back, but they're playing well. They've gone 5-1 straight up in ATS their last 6 games. They're playing some good basketball. The schedule, they did beat Phoenix. They did beat Philly on the road. They smacked down Sacramento 122-95, and Carlisle got to take all his starters off the court because it turned into a blowout. So they're in good shape for a back-to-back. Turner only played 24 minutes, Matherin 29, Siakam 28, Halliburton 30, Nemard 18. Nobody's in bad shape as far as playing too much and being fatigued tonight. Even though it's a back-to-back, because he got to rest his starters in a blowout situation last night. Meanwhile, you got Golden State. They've not played well, obviously, after the red-hot start, 3-7 in their last 10 games. That's another thing. I mean, you're 3-7 straight up, Golden State, in their last 10 games. And here at the house, all of a sudden, hasn't been overly pretty for them either, kind of up and down compared to the red-hot start. I've been on Indiana these last few games, just as they're starting to turn things up, play more. They're not all the way back yet, but more to the level at least we saw in the Pacers team that got all the way to the East Final last year. I think getting 5.5, 6 points here with Indiana on this run that they're on. I'm interested. Give me the Pacers here, plus points.
Interesting with Bano taking that dog here tonight. We got Wham.
By the
Bam,
way, I forgot to mention this, and I need to. The head-to-head series history, Indiana's won outright each of their last 3 visits to the Bay Area against Golden State as underdogs. They've beaten them 3 straight times here in Golden State. So it's proven to be a good matchup.
And we'll see. We'll see how it goes tonight. I'll say this. Star Child says we on the same wavelength today. He leans Pacers game under as well. I'm thinking first half under. Pacers are a team that turns up in the second half. Golden State has been pretty good to that first half under too. It's shaded down there at 112. I think it's shaded like that for a reason. This might be one where you can get in and get out, get paid with less points. Wham Bam. Lester says Buddy Hield revenge game. Are we going with some 3-point props or who we looking at here today, Wham Bam?
Yeah, I know our guy Dutch is on this Warriors here, so he going head to head right up with Babano. If he was here and I heard them breaking each other down, I'll just be like, look, I'm gonna let y'all catch this fade. I'm gonna stay out of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave y'all alone because I don't have any dog here. I do agree with the under for sure. I do think this is a little bit more of a playoff style type game because these teams kind of even match up, even if they are playing up tempo. I think they kind of match up pretty well within each other there, just play styles here. So
Golden State's got Lakers Christmas Day too. Look ahead.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, the next 2 games we're gonna talk about that. So and shout out to Dutch. Dutch like the Lakers too. He liked both games. He liked both teams that play each other next on Wednesday. So I'm gonna stay away from this. I'm gonna let y'all squabble up, bro. I'm gonna leave it here to y'all.
Man, Dutch would say that Scooby-Doo motherfucker. And then he would say, oh yeah, there's levels to this shit. The Warriors are another goddamn level tonight. I could absolutely
not lately to me. No, I mean,
I agree. I agree with that. The Warriors are like it's like a, how do you call it? Like one of those drama shows or one of them. I don't know.
I think Dennis Schroeder plays well today, though. I think Dennis Schroeder, he gets his good game in. Now that he's a Warrior, I think this is the first good game for him.
You got Kerr talking about Kuminga. The players I feel like don't like Pods. Pods just be jacking, and I don't know. It's a lot going on over there, man. I don't think I want my money with Golden State, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes tonight. Last but not least, Pistons and Lakers. That's the other one Dutchy said he likes. He likes those Lakers. And it did open 6.5, come down to 5.5, and that is where it's at most shops. Total went from 224 as low as 220.5. And injury report: Stewart is out for Detroit. AD and LeBron are questionable. And I'm going to Wham Bam first for the Laker game. Am I tripping, Wham Bam, or is Anthony Davis? He's usually probable, right? He's not usually questionable.
Yeah, no, he's played every game too. He's been playing damn near every game as well. So yeah, man, this is one of those trickies. If you're trying to cap the damn report, the injury report, it's gonna be really tough. But this is an elbow injury. He hasn't. This is one of the newer injuries too. I'm not necessarily sure if he's had this elbow injury yet, like his lingering leg injuries and things of that nature, or back injuries and stuff like that. Excuse me. Yeah, and the fact that, like our guy said, the fact that these two teams play, they play not these two teams, but the Lakers play again on Christmas, kind of gives you like, well, maybe they will sit one of these guys. I could kind of almost guarantee they're not going to sit LeBron because his arch nemesis is not going to be playing. Isaiah Stewart is not playing on the other side of the floor. The last time we seen those two guys on the floor, it was also some WWE shit going on, you know what I mean? So his arch nemesis is not going to be playing here. So AD may be the one we got to look out for. Maybe we got to look out for, bro, because I think LeBron's going to get in here. And then another thing, fortunately, I did hear news that they called up Bronny James for this fucking game too. For some,
he's been balling lately though.
He's been balling, yeah. But the fact that they calling him up, when they call him up, they typically blow out the team, and he ended up here. So I'm with Dutch here. I think the Lakers handle business. I took them -3 in the first half before the little bit moved right there. So I got -3. I still take the 3.5 if you have the. I still got to win by 4, so it doesn't necessarily matter anyway. So I took the -3 in the first half with the Lakers. I think they're going to win, cover the full game as well. But I'm just getting in and getting out. But I don't have to play. Really, I don't want to put money on Bronny, so I'm only hopping in on the first half just because of that. Because I think Bronny's playing in the second half here, so that's the only reason why. But like my boy said, he been hooping, and he really seemed like he in rhythm with the game speed and everything. So I'm not gonna try to hate too much, but hey, it is what it is. But shout out to the Lakers. They have been playing a little bit better. I'm not going to say that they're back, but this is perfect form right before a Christmas big game against the Warriors. I think they are going to win that game as well, just to give you a heads up here. So Lakers on the streak, I believe. The streak continues by tonight. And I like Dutch plays. I like Dutch plays today, man. I'm not going to lie. So I like Dutch plays here with the Lakers, 5.5. We would have seen him with the blue hat on, man. Shout out to Cox. I mean, shame on Cox, because we could have had a great sighting with Dutch not hating on the Lakers today, but they ruined it for us, took that away from us. But we will still fight another Christmas day again. So give me the Lakers -3 in the first half. That's the only playoff look.
And then when I pass it to Babano, I mean, I gotta mention the total. The Lakers have been playing some defense lately. They're the number 1 defensive rated team last 5 games. They've held 4 of their last 5 opponents under 100 points. You see effort again. They're no longer the disgracers, unless they lose tonight, of course. But but no, they've been playing good defense, Babano. And offense has kind of been a little bit of the problem. Detroit, I'm not sure how much we can trust them defensively. And I think because Stewart is out, I mean, Duran can get in foul trouble. And who's going to back them up? The Lakers can eat. Their offense will probably look better. Go for it, Babano. I need some water.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was dealing with earlier with the throat issues. Must be all this close to Christmas type of vibes going, causing that. So I actually lean to the Pistons a little bit, but I don't like that the Lakers lost to them in Detroit. And that there might be a spot on the schedule where Lakers know that they didn't play well in Detroit and some payback. Not to mention before that win for Detroit at home against the Lakers had owned them. The Lakers had really, really dominated the Pistons, and maybe they get revenge tonight as a result. And they are playing well. They are, and they're finally playing some defense. So I lean Pistons, but I'm going to stay off. I kind of want to fade the Lakers with the Golden State game on Christmas Day on deck, but I think they may not take the Pistons lightly because of losing to them in Detroit. So that's going to keep me off taking the Pistons, even though I lean that way.
All right, that's the NBA card. 14 games, every team except for 2 playing tonight, and we made it through them all. It did take us an hour and 5 minutes.
Pretty good for 14 games, though.
Yeah, 14 games. I mean, yeah, that is pretty good. Best bet time. We finally made it to the end. So, like we always do, slide it to my guy Wham Bam. Let the people know what you think is the best way to get paid.
And look, my boy had to be here. He had to show his face. Look, there you go. You here now, my boy. You here now. Let him know. Say utility man. Utility man. That's the way we gonna go. We're gonna go Paul George over 5.5 assists. Utility man, get it done, man. Let our guy Babano in the South. So slide it to Skee.
All right. I'm gonna go with Old Faithful. I mean, I'll say this. I'm going with Cat 13.5 rebounds because it's the only thing that I've bet so far. I am gonna lock in some stuff after the show. I don't like giving out stuff that I haven't actually put in. So I'm going with Cat over 13.5 rebounds, hit it 9 of his last 11. And if you got 14.5, I mean, yeah, you missed the boat, but he's been hitting that number quite a bit too. So that is up to you. Other than that, I'll tell you I'm very, very close. There's no rush to bet this because the total is going up, but I think the under in Indiana and Golden State is something that would be in my pocket. Last but not least, I'll go with Babano. And you can let the people know what you think is the best way to get to the window and take us home.
All right, well, let's go. It's a big card. I'm going to give you not one, but two best bets. Don't normally like doing that, but we'll do it tonight. We like Toronto plus 14 against New York. I like that number. I like that price. I know they're on a back-to-back, but the Knicks are in a bit of a flat spot here off a 3-game road trip. They played well. They got Christmas Day on deck. Raptors were very competitive with the Knicks in the first meeting in Toronto. It's just too many points, in my opinion. Toronto plus 14 against New York. And we're going to take Indiana plus 6 against Golden State. I'm going to ride this team one more night. They've been very good lately. They've won 3 straight times outright as a dog here in Golden State. I think they got a chance here to at least make it interesting again tonight. So plus 6 Indiana as well. 2 best bets here for this NBA OG show. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Look, the NBA is a hell of a drug. And you're looking at the plugs. Yeah, man, we're going in. We're coming out with the motherfucking bag. Be make sure to subscribe and share the motherfucking video. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.
You guys ready?
It's the plan, Bobby.
We're winging it, Jerry.
You always winged it.
We're gonna get killed. What you mean, we, white boy?
You ready?
Here we go.